You leave work exhausted, not physically, mentally. You've been telling yourself all week that you deserve something nice, just one thing. You walk into a clothing store. You weren't planning to buy anything, you were just looking. 30 minutes later, you're standing under bright white lights holding a jacket. It's soft. It fits perfectly. You look at yourself in the mirror. For a second, you look like the version of yourself you've been trying to become. The price tag says $240. Your stomach tightens. Your brain immediately starts doing math. That's almost my electricity bill. That's groceries for 2 weeks. Maybe I should put it back. You hold the jacket for another 10 seconds before slowly returning it to the rack. You walk toward the exit. Then your eyes catch something, a small silver sign. We accept all major credit cards. You stop. Your wallet suddenly feels different. You pull out a thin piece of plastic. You walk back. 5 minutes later, the jacket is inside a shopping bag. And somehow, paying $240 didn't hurt nearly as much as it did 5 minutes earlier. Nothing about the price changed. Nothing about your income changed. Nothing about your bank account changed. The only thing that changed was how your brain experienced the payment. That's one of the strangest things behavioral economists have ever discovered, because your brain doesn't experience every dollar equally. Some dollars feel painfully real. Others feel almost invisible. And if you don't understand why, you'll spend thousands of dollars without ever feeling like you spent them. Imagine someone hands you $300 in cash. Fresh bills, you fold them carefully, slide them into your wallet. Throughout the day, you keep checking to make sure they're still there, because cash feels like something you actually own. You can touch it, count it, watch it disappear. Now imagine someone deposits the exact same $300 into your credit limit. Nothing enters your hands, nothing changes physically, just numbers on a screen. Strangely, your brain treats those two experiences as completely different. One feels like possession, the other feels like permission. And that difference quietly changes the way you spend. Researchers Drazen Prelek and George Lowenstein call this the pain of paying. Their work revealed something fascinating. Every purchase contains two separate experiences. The first is the pleasure of getting something. The second is the pain of giving something up. Cash forces those two experiences to happen at the exact same moment. You hand over the money and instantly feel the loss. Your brain watches value leave your hands. That creates friction. Enough friction to make you ask, do I actually need this? But credit cards quietly separate those experiences. You get the pleasure today, while the pain waits for another month. Your brain smiles now and schedules the suffering for later. Except later never feels like today, because your future self always feels like someone else's responsibility. Now, picture yourself inside a grocery store. You toss cereal into the cart, juice, snacks, frozen pizza. You barely look at the prices. At checkout, you tap your card. Approved. Done. You walk away without thinking about it. Now, rewind the scene. This time, the cashier says, cash only. You open your wallet. You begin counting bills, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Suddenly, every item feels heavier. The frozen pizza doesn't seem necessary anymore. The snacks quietly go back onto the shelf. Nothing changed except the payment method. Yet your shopping cart became smaller. Why? Because counting physical money forces your brain to acknowledge the loss in real time. Every bill leaving your hand feels like something you can never get back. That's loss aversion in action. Psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky discovered that losing something hurts roughly twice as much as gaining the exact same thing feels good. Your brain is designed to avoid losses. But here's the twist. Credit cards don't remove that pain. They simply hide it. And when pain becomes invisible, your spending becomes effortless. By the time the credit card statement arrives weeks later, the excitement is gone. The jacket isn't new anymore. The dinner has already been eaten. The online order is sitting in your closet. Now the only thing left is the bill. And for the first time, your brain finally experiences the loss. Except now, it's attached to dozens of purchases you barely remember making. The pain didn't disappear. it was simply delayed. And delayed pain is one of the easiest psychological traps to fall into. A month passes. You wake up on a Saturday morning, your phone buzzes. Credit card statement available. You don't open it? Not yet. You make breakfast, watch a few videos, reply to a couple of messages. Somehow, opening that notification feels heavier than paying for all those purchases combined. Eventually, you tap it. Your balance appears $1,843.72. Your stomach sinks. Not because you bought one expensive thing, because you bought 50 small things that never felt expensive. Coffee, food delivery, late night shopping, a pair of headphones, a few subscriptions you forgot existed. None of them hurt. Individually, they felt harmless. Together, they became a financial weight. And suddenly, you realize something terrifying. You don't remember making most of those decisions. That's because your brain doesn't store payment memories the way you think. When the reward comes first and the pain comes weeks later, the two experiences become disconnected. Your brain remembers the excitement. It forgets the cost until the bill forces them back together. Now imagine two people. Both earn exactly the same salary. Both spend exactly $2,000 every month. The first person pays almost everything in cash. The second person pays almost everything with a credit card. After 1 year, who spends more? Behavioral economists have studied this question for decades. Again and again, the answer points in the same direction. People tend to spend more when using cards than when using cash. Not because they're less disciplined, because a psychological barrier becomes weaker. Cash asks, "Are you sure?" A credit card asks, "Tap here." One forces you to feel the sacrifice. The other minimizes it. The difference lasts only a second, but thousands of those seconds quietly shape an entire financial life. Now, think about the richest people you know. Not the ones showing off online, the genuinely wealthy. Have you noticed something strange? Many of them still use credit cards, but not for the reason most people do. They aren't using debt to escape today's pain. They're using systems to stay in control. The payment method isn't what makes someone wealthy. The awareness is. Some automate full payments every month. Some track every purchase before it becomes a habit. Some review every statement with the same attention an investor studies a portfolio. The card isn't dangerous. The invisible psychology behind it is. Because the moment you stop feeling the cost, you stop questioning the decision. Now imagine something impossible. Every time you tapped your card, your bank balance instantly appeared across the screen. Not your credit limit, your actual cash. You watch it fall. $8,420, $8,180, $7,940. Every purchase immediately reminds you what you're giving up. How different would your spending become? Probably very different, because your brain isn't irrational. It simply responds to whatever feels most real. Companies understand this, banks understand this, apps understand this. That's why buying has become faster every year. One-click checkout, Face ID, auto renew, save payment methods, no signatures, no counting cash, no pause. Every second removed from the payment process removes a little more psychological friction, and friction is often the only thing protecting your wallet. Tonight, before you go to bed, open your banking app. Not to judge yourself, not to feel guilty. Just scroll through the last 30 purchases. Look at each one. Ask yourself one question. Would I still have bought this if I had to hand over physical cash? You'll probably stop at a few transactions. You'll remember the excitement. You'll remember why you wanted them. Then you'll realize something uncomfortable. You weren't buying because you needed them. You were buying because your brain barely noticed the payment. That's the real power of the pain of paying. It doesn't force you to spend. It quietly changes how spending feels. And once the feeling changes, your behavior follows. The next time you pull a credit card from your wallet, remember this. The most expensive purchases in your life probably won't be the ones that felt painful. They'll be the ones that felt too easy. Because your brain was never trying to make you poor. It was trying to protect you from the discomfort of loss. The problem is when money stops feeling like it's leaving, it starts leaving much faster. And the wealthiest people understand a truth that most people discover too late. The first step to controlling your money isn't earning more. It's learning to feel it leave.